Hey, welcome to Freedom Church. We're here sitting down with Pastor Alex Blake, and we're talking about our service that we had today on our first Sunday, May 3rd, 2014. And it was an awesome word, and we're going to have Pastor Alex dig in a little bit into what we spoke about today, get a little deeper in our word so that we can all look back and focus on all the great words and blessings that he preached today. So, Pastor, I'll turn it over to you.
Bless you, man. You had a great time, and I pray that y'all received something today that was a blessing and encouraged today. You know, I really wanted to encourage the people of God today, and I pray that when you get this, and if you're watching it, that encourages you to, as you go throughout your life and throughout your day. And we talked about the persistence. If you're persistent, that you will prevail. And sometimes we just got to be persistent in what we're going after. And so we came out of the book of Deuteronomy, and in the first chapter, he's telling them, listen, leave the mountain. You've been around this mountain too long. You've been wandering around the same place, the same sight, the same view, hearing the same sounds over and over again. And I don't know if that may be you in your life, that maybe you get up the same day. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. I've been here, I've done that, I've seen this, and I've seen that, and everything seems to be the same. Nothing ever seems to change. And what you really want is breakthrough. You want to be able to experience all that God has placed in front of you. And Sheldon, I think that's really what they were experiencing. I think that they understood there was a land of promise that God had called them to, but they were on the balcony looking over, but never entering in. I don't know if you ever felt like that before.
Well, you know, I certainly did, and just in the word that you preached today, opened my eyes to kind of think of, you know, what are the blessings that God has already given to me or already is prepared for me? And am I really living in it? Am I really moving towards it and moving forward? And I think that was a great message that you preached. You also talked about mustard seed faith and how we can really envision that and utilize that in our lives. You want to talk a little bit more about that for us?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I shared a story today about my daughter. She's 7 years old. And like all kids, you know, they have this crazy faith. And she taught me just an amazing lesson, Sheldon. I talked about how she had gotten a seed. And it was an apple seed that she got from an apple. And so she decided, hey, I've got an apple seed. It really belongs in the ground. And so I'm going to go in my backyard and dig holes in Daddy's backyard to plant my apple seed.
Yeah.
And sure enough, that's what she did. She planted her apple seed. And right now, we've got a tree that's growing in our backyard. And she even named the seed. She called the seed Appaloosa. That's the seed's name. And she taught me an amazing principle about how God will give us the little bit. And if we're willing to put what we have in the environment where God can use it and bless it, God can take that faith, that seed, and be able to bring forth a great tree. And so, I mean, that was the principle today. It's a seed of faith that activates things in our life for us to get out of our comfort zone, get out from around our mountains, and be able to go into the dimensions and the places where God has truly called us to go into. But it takes that faith of a mustard seed to be able to move the mountains that are in our life.
Definitely. And I think just with that, there was a big piece you talked about moving those mountains. And when we get to that land, sometimes we may encounter giants.
Yeah.
And some of those giants that are there. And you kind of talked about how having the faith of God when moving towards these giants will really help us in understanding that our God is bigger than our giants.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. You know, David talked about, oh, magnify the Lord with me. They were saying, listen, let's come together and let's make God bigger. You know, in the sense of, you know, right now we come in, we may be discouraged, we may be dismayed by the giants that we're confronted with, but our God is awesome. Our God is so big. You know what? Come, let's magnify the Lord together. And when we do that collectively, we'll be able to understand that, you know what, our God is so much bigger than our giants. He's bigger than the problems that we face, the situations that we're encountering every day. And when we magnify Him, we put ourselves in a place where we have the right perspective about our God. And so that when we get to a place to where we tremble at our giants can conquer our hearts and create fear. But when we talk about our God, our giants will tremble at the sound of His voice, and we have the complete victory when we put God in the right place with the power of perspective and make Him bigger than our situations.
I think that's a great word, you know, for me, I think for everybody else, you know, just understanding that our God is bigger than our problems. So any problems, any adversity that we're dealing with, our God is bigger than that, and He can conquer it. It's already been conquered. So
Yeah.
I think that's a great word.
Yeah.
I think it's encouraging for everybody listening as well.
Yeah.
So, Pastor, I wanted to thank you for the word that you gave today,
Absolutely.
and then
Absolutely.
for everything that you do.
Well,
Keep
God
up the
bless
great
you.
work.
God bless you. Hey, we love you. I pray that this encouraged you a little bit today. I'm encouraged by God's word every single day. Get in the word. There is the prevailing power available to you, but you got to be persistent in obedience to God. God bless you. Have a wonderful week. Tell the people about Jesus. We'll see you soon.
All right. Have a good one, guys.